So firstly, there's been a mega delay in us putting videos up. We've had a super busy summer. We've been out spearfishing, mountaineering, been learning to paraglide, doing loads of dope shit. Been out with our boy Josh Haley from Souls Untapped. If you don't follow him, you haven't seen his videos, check them out. They're shit hot. Brilliant stuff, especially if you're into spearfishing. Also, a big shout out to our sponsors at Spearfishing UK, consistently providing us with the best kit in the industry so we can be at the top of our game. Check them out. If you're looking to get into spearfishing, hit them up. Best kit in the country.
Oh god, it's on me. How'd you turn it round? First things first, we gave the van a good clean, making sure we got all the dust and crap out so the mastic has good adhesion.
I then removed all the electronics and batteries so we had the room to work. Just want to give a big shout out to Jermaine Ivanka, big up yourself. Sent us boxes and boxes of Tim Tams from Oz and Twisties. Now the proper way to eat a Tim Tam is to bite the head and tail off and suck your teeth through it. Oh. Right, is that good there?
You need to pull out a bit.
Pull out. I never pull out.
I don't know that.
Push it in deeper. So Amy's convinced we should put the soft side down, just in case a horse comes in and pisses.
Predominantly, you put the lines underneath, so the horse piss runs in between.
Now, the chances of us having a horse pissing in the back of the van are hopefully slim to none.
Could happen though. We got the mats nice and square and made a slice each end of the wheel arch.
We then moved it into place, cut the excess off and done any final trimmings just to clean it up. Right, a little bit of a problem. We got these two products, the same product apparently, from two different screw fix branches. As you can see, one is shiny, one is matte. So that was the last one in stock at one branch, hence going to the other one to pick that one up. So the chances are they've switched manufacturers at some stage and this is now the new status quo. Don't like how shiny that is, it's not very nice, but there's not enough of the original one we cut to meet all the way to the line of where our bed frame is going to go. So what we're going to have to do is, I think, use that for as far as it will go, and just use a little strip of this one at the front.
Do it at the back where you can't really see.
Up there for thinking, girl. Up there for thinking. With the shiny stuff, because we want to try and cover these wheel arches and cover the walls as much as possible also, we'll use the shiny stuff for that because it will help make it look a bit lighter and blah blah fucking blah. Am I boring you, Amy?
You always do.
I was saying that last night.
Here I'm actually seen doing something. I spread the mastic as evenly as possible and tried to avoid any big dumps and dollops. We got a rolling pin and a heavy chopping board to try and spread the mastic as evenly as possible underneath, but it didn't really work.
In hindsight, we shouldn't really use mastic because it makes quite like a bumpy texture underneath where you've got the sort of beads. So I would probably recommend using a glue or something that's going to be a lot flatter. I then got the alley angle. I think we picked up from B&Q to be fair, but it did need a little bit of trimming just to get it nice and flat along the bottom of the door sill. So just before I screw this alley step down, we've offered it up and put some self-tapping screws. It's only soft aluminium, so it drills nice and easy. I've ran a line of sellotape there, so because I'm now going to mastic under here, with the thought being that when you're brushing out, of course, if you've got a bit of a lip and a bit of a gap, it's going to get all, you know, gummed up with crap. So I'm just going to run a bead of mastic to stick this onto. It's also going to help it flex and give it a little bit of more adhesion. The other thing I'm going to do, because these screws are just, when they're screwed down, they're sitting just a little bit high, and I'm not happy with that. So I've just put a little 6mm drill bit in, which is only, as you can see, just a wee bit smaller than the screw head. So it will help the screws to seat better into the piece of alley.
You still smiling?
No, I'm stressed out. As you can see, we're pretty much there with our garage floor. We've got all our rubber matting down. We've put our corner edge and brackets, whatever you want to call them, or angle on the wheel arches, just to go for that kind of flight box sort of look. And it adds an element of protection. We wanted to do this before we got the bed frame in, as of course it would be a pain in the arse trying to work inside a confined space. So let's crack on with that. To make our bed frame, there's a million and one ways of doing it. What we're going to do is use 2x4. Yes, it's heavy, but guess what? It's strong. So the first bit of timber is going to come to about there, I'd imagine. The only issue we might have with that is on this side. We've of course got some of our conduit and cabling and stuff coming out of the walls, which isn't going to allow for a bit of 2x4 to sit there. So what I might have to do is try and put this one on the sort of 2-inch face. The other thing we need to allow space for is things like our solar charge controller. In fact, I can see the screw holes from where it was mounted before, so we might have to just shift it up. I think the widest thing we're going to have on this wall is in fact that solar charge controller. So with that in mind, we're going to have to use that as a guide, and of course allow a bit of space underneath for the cables to go through nicely without putting too much of a bend in them. So we might have to step the bed up a little bit, which isn't ideal because we wanted to use a 6-inch mattress. The mattress we were going to use is coming from a company called Custom Sized Beds. Now, I've not had a look at their website yet. I've just seen on the OG of campervan videos, Greg Virgo, big up yourself. He uses one, and it's 6 inches thick, 4 inches of, I think, 4 inches of spring and 2 inches of foam topper or something like that, there or thereabouts. If we can get a thinner but decent mattress, happy days, let me know, and we should do that. Because I did try to allow for where the top of the bed's going to be, 1/2 inch for the air mat, 6 inch for a mattress, and then from your arse to sat up headspace, don't want to be touching the ceiling. So that's what we've taken our measurements off and built it based around, or designed it based around on. So what I'm going to do is just build it as I'm going to build it with a 2x4, and we're just going to have to find a mattress that fits. We're just winging it. We're winging it. So while Amy was cracking on painting the roof, I made a couple of upright supports. I mean, you can't really see them here, but they're just in front of the wheel arch, running from the floor up to the base of the bed, just to give it a bit of extra support, and also made these sideways ones that you can see me screwing in now.
We picked up some Ronsil varnish in walnut and I slapped it on the ceiling.
Off. Sexual. Love the way you work that brush. Don't stop, I'm gonna.
You would have been done by now.
Hey! Alright, while the boss is getting on with painting the roof, I'm gonna work on this little bit here now. So for these parts, we're gonna cut out templates, because obviously this needs to be accessible, because it's where you get to your lighting and stuff, hence not insulating around there. However, this part, to hide it, we're just going to box it out. So we're going to put a bit of ply there, and a bit of ply there, and a little bit on top. There, there, there. Cutting in, could it be a bit tighter? Yes. Do I care? No, not really, because I'm going to mastic around here anyway. So you're not going to see that, and also this edge is going to be mastic because of course you've got your door rubber, so it's going to have some flex in it. I'm going to use some self-tapping screws to go through here and pull it onto the body. I've drilled a little hole to get our earth wire through, and the only issue is where I've put the wires through, I can't now get it out, but where this batting is, it pushes onto the corner of this bit of metal. So what I'm going to do is get the router and just take that edge off, and hopefully I should be able to get that nice and snug. A quick go over the router and it all fit nice and snug, so I'll copy the same thing for the other side, and that was that.
I finished painting the bed frame and the garage area with some hard wearing paint. as you can see, we've done more than what you've seen, but more on that later. Bed frame, done. Finished product, but we've gone for 9mm ply. Lots of people will say, oh, but it needs air into the mattress, but this is where we have this. So this is called an air mat, which is about 1/2 inch thick, so that lays between the ply and the mattress, and it allows air to go through.
So as Amy's already explained, there's some finishing to do. We're going to have a sheet of ply over the back of it to box it all in and clean it up. We will have an external bullfinch shower that comes out here. We'll probably go, are they tambour doors? Tambourine, something like that. You know, the roller shutter type doors, space saving, doesn't need to open, and you know, all that jazz. I'll show you some of the internals. So under here, under here you can see we've got, ignore the dodgy angle, we've put some of our water pipes running through here. This is eventually going to be cladded off with another piece of ply over the top of it. All we've used is just some pretty industrious brackets in the corners of these. Hello, Amy.
Oh, don't mug me up.
We've obviously also got our water supply stuff put in place where it's coming out here. We'll explain more on that in another video. As I say, this will have another sheet of ply over the top, so you're not going to see any of this. You won't see the pipes. They're not going to be at risk of getting snagged or anything like that. And our services over there are going to be tidied up as well. All this stuff's in at the moment just as a temporary fix, hence we've only got the one little 110 battery. That certainly isn't how we're going to have it. We're going to have probably about 450 amps of usable power, but for the meantime it gets us out using the van. So that is pretty much our bed frame. That's all we've done. Very, very basic, but it's strong, it's solid, and it works.
How big a cost was it again?
Oh, it is just under 6'2", I think, because I'm pretty much bang on 6 with shoes. So in terms of dimensions, we are 6 foot long by 52 inches wide. I think that's 4 foot 4, 4 foot 5, something there or thereabouts in proper money. If I lie down, as I say, I'm pretty much a smidge under 6 foot. 6 foot if anyone's asking. And I can lie down in it, but who lies like this? No one lies like this. You're gonna be like that, or you're gonna be like this, or you're gonna be doing whatever it is you're doing, but you've got plenty of space to do it. That's the point.
Doing what?
So that's our bed space. It's plenty big enough for the two of us.
Super comfy. This mattress
comfy.
is super comfy. What do we go for? Medium firm?
Medium firm. I think it's like an extra 30 quid or something. But you know what? If you've had a long day diving or out in the hills or fucking whatever it is you do, power walk around New York with poles, then you've got a nice comfy bed to come back to. There's nothing worse than getting in and having a shit night's sleep. So
no, it's really good. I'm really, really, really happy with it. So you can see that the skeleton of the kitchen is in. Run you through the basic layout. So we're going to have the fridge underneath here, oven, sink, and then there'll be a little flip out bit that comes when you need it to use as extra workspace. Obviously there'll be lots of underhead, drawers, cupboards, etc. Overhead cabinets are green at the minute. Please don't look at that. They're not going to be green. Tried it, don't like it. Shower is in the base, the divider. Zach's put the plumbing work in, as you can see. So this will be the rough area of the shower. It's just enough room to take a shit. So if you come back over here, we've got all our controls. This is the control centre. So we've got our water level, remote switch, inverter, and this is the thing for our solar charger. So we've converted the bulkhead into some overhead storage. We've basically decked it out with some ply, capped the ends off and capped the top. The only thing that's left to do is probably use a small, maybe 5mm ply, just to go over here, so we've not got any sharp edges or anything to catch any Gucci kit. But the long-haired colonel has now decided she doesn't like this after driving to Essex to pick up a fucking radiator grill, a copper radiator grill, because that was the design she wanted. I am still using it though.
Yep. Obviously then these are going to be individual captain's chairs, which we've already got. I just need to do a bit of welding and chopping and changing to get those to fit. Where the Django is going to be a double seat base here, just after the shower, and a small stand-up vertical wardrobe. That is going to give us heaps of space here once we've got a little table there, a double seat base there, which is going to house our Truma combi boiler. We've gone for the diesel, the 6D I think it's called, or D6, one or the other. So that, with these chairs inverted, this chair facing forward, gives us our seating area, and this will also come together with the table, drop down to make an additional bed space.
Do I look so fat at the angle?
No, you don't look fat. It was just that angle you stood at. Fucking terrible.
So we'll be sleeping this end, and as you can see, there is plenty of room this way. I'm 5'8", plenty of room.
What have you done? What are you doing?